All right, guys, here we go. The watch this video for Thursday, March 14th. SPY, the fourth green day in a row to come up and take out recent highs. For me, it's probably a little bit tired to the upside, but I don't get mired down in where I think the SPY is going to go because as long as we're not tanking, as long as there's not a crash like this going on and we're holding up just fine, I really don't care that much about the SPY. Just go ahead and build a watch list of stocks that I'm going to try to find an intraday setup tomorrow and make some money and be in cash before the close. All right, having said that, AKTX, I made a video, so I'm not going to go into it here, but I took one trade in this today. I made like a little over $400. Missed the, Jane put this on watch in the pre-market, and it gave a great setup, and I just didn't see it. And so wasn't willing to chase, so I really literally found one entry that I felt, here's an inflection point where shorts have to cover, and like I said, in about 2 minutes, I made $400 something. But should it be on watch tomorrow? Look how extended this thing is. It's a huge candle. By the way, as we've seen a million times in after hours, this thing kept going. 685 is where it is right now. So we see that a lot when they close strong. A lot of times they'll run in after hours. I'm not condoning that as a trading strategy when you see a stock getting ready to close like this, holding some because GSP said, sometimes these things go farther in after hours. I've also seen stocks announce an offering 1 minute after the closing bell and then come all the way down to here or something. So it's not a strategy, but we've seen it a lot. All right. Anyway, I want to watch it tomorrow, but I doubt I'll trade it because it's so extended. SAEX, I'm going to have to zoom in a little bit to show you this, get that big candle out of there. So we had a pop back here to 660, then a lower high right here to 573, then a lower high right here to 550, and that was only 4 days ago. Came all the way back down, but then the next thing you know, you get a nice pop yesterday. I would have preferred this held up a little better today because I think even oil was strong. But I don't know. I really don't like this unless and until it kind of maybe gets back over 5, and it may never do that. So I'm not in love with this one. I was for a while. With a strong close today, this would have been my favorite to watch tomorrow, but feels like nobody's trading it right now. All right, so that's SAEX. LEDS. Nice pop today. Big volume for the stock. If you look back at some of the other pops, this one got slapped right back down. This one got slapped right back down. This one back here actually held up pretty well and closed pretty well, but then fell apart the very next day. So this one has a history of not holding gains, but it also has a history of some big moves. There's another one where it gapped up big and got slapped back down. This day, it went from 430 to 625. So it can make big moves, but it really hasn't done so in the recent past. This is all the way back in July. But it's still worth watching for a potential follow-through day with a proper setup. I think it's just, I don't know if it had news. A lot of times we just see the low floaters. People jump from one to another, and I kind of think that's what happened here, but who knows? It's going to go on watch. LPTX had a nice pop really over about 3 days from 144 all the way up to 234. So that's a nice little 3-day move. And then today, kind of a quiet inside day. So I do want to watch that one. I've kind of had to reach for ideas today. I couldn't find any charts that I really liked. Nothing, speaking of charts I like, nothing pretty here, except that in after hours it's trading at about 250. So a possible gap play tomorrow, assuming it gaps by the opening bell. You've got this kind of ugly topping tail, looked like it was rolling over. So if we open up here tomorrow, my assumption is it had news after hours, maybe earnings, I don't know. Certainly worth watching for a gap and go tomorrow, assuming, again, that it still gaps. GLBS hasn't broken its early high for the past couple days, and it was a big mover. I think they announced an offering or something after hours because it's trading at 560. I'm still going to watch it because it's come all the way from $3. It went to almost 9. So then with a few days down and with a probable, more than likely, gap down tomorrow, we still might get a gap down bounce play that we teach in our course. It might happen, and a lot of times with an offering, people just assume, okay, we're headed lower from here, and that's not always the case. So I am going to watch it, but I don't love it. All right, CNAT, nice little. We got this island down here, nice little breakout on volume. Hole number 3 might come into play tomorrow, so I want to watch CNAT. A few more. GTXI tried to break out of this long island base down here. The other day it went to 256. I'll zoom in a little bit. Put in a lower high, and then a nice bounce yesterday and kind of a quiet inside day today. 15-minute candles will probably show you this picture a little prettier. let's pan out a little bit. So there was that big rip the other day. It's kind of come down and put in a nice long base now. Today's high was 147. Yesterday's high 152. So I kind of call that stat catalyst. If we get over 150, we might take out this 152 and maybe start to head back up. Again, not in love with that one either, but it's worth watching. SNSS had this pop back here to 84 cents, a lower high here to basically 74 cents on big volume, kind of flagging ever since and starting to curl back up. It looks good over that flag. And then SNES, let me pan out, show you this chart a little bit better. So you had this pop back here to 115, and then the other day, 3 days ago, it hit 117, sold off, and it's right back up. So it looks good over this, 3 or 4 day high. I'm not in love with this list, but I'm hoping we'll find some nice gap plays tomorrow, and maybe find some pullback plays on the strong stocks as we do as a team pretty well on a daily basis. So we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Have a great night. We'll see everybody tomorrow.